Hello, and welcome back to Learn the Bible in a Year for March 31st, 2026. Today is National Bunsen Burner Day, honoring the lab equipment that has singed more middle school eyebrows than any other invention in human history. Today, we're going to be covering the seriousness of vows, Israel's vengeance on Midian, Jesus calming the deadly storm, and the deliverance of a demon possessed man. So let's jump right into it. All right, diving into our Old Testament reading, we are in Numbers 29 through 31. Yesterday, we saw God establish the calendar of sacrifices and appoint Joshua as Moses' successor. Today, the reading begins with the massive list of sacrifices required for the Feast of Booths, a 7-day festival where the Israelites lived in temporary shelters to remember their time in the wilderness. Then in chapter 30, God gives Moses specific laws concerning vows. If a man makes a vow to the Lord, he is absolutely bound to keep it. The Hebrew word for vow here is neder, N-E-D-E-R is how it's spelled, which means a solemn promise made to God, often involving a pledge to do something or abstain from something. God takes our words incredibly seriously. When he makes a promise, we are reflecting the character of God who never breaks his covenant. The text says a man must not break his word, he must do everything he has promised. There's also a specific provision here for women detailing how a father or a husband can nullify a vow that they've made if they hear it and object. And this is actually a protective measure that in a patriarchal society is here to prevent women from being forced into ruinous financial or social obligations. This is a family first system. Then, in chapter 31, God commands Moses to execute vengeance on the Midianites. This is direct payback for the incident at Baal Peor, where the Midianite women, on the advice of Balaam, seduced the Israelite men into idolatry and caused a plague that killed 24,000 people. Israelite sends 1,000 men from each tribe, led by Phinehas, the priest. They completely demolish the Midianites, killing their 5 kings and also executing Balaam, the diviner, who was still hanging around, I guess. Now, a question you might have here is why is the destruction of the Midianites so absolute and severe? It is a difficult passage to read, I agree, but it highlights the extreme danger of idolatry. The Midianites hadn't just attacked Israel physically, they had launched a targeted spiritual attack designed to separate Israel from God's protection. In ancient Near East, spiritual treason was the capital offense because it threatened their very existence of God's redemptive plan for the entire world through Israel. So it's a big deal, and the Israelites respond in a big way. All right, jumping now into our New Testament reading, we're in Luke chapter 8. Yesterday we saw the woman who supported Jesus' ministry and heard the parable of the sower. Today, Jesus redefines what it means to be in his family. When his mother and brothers try to see him but can't get through a crowd, Jesus says that his true mother and brothers are those who hear God's word and put it into practice. Then Jesus and his disciples get aboard a boat to cross the Sea of Galilee. And Jesus falls asleep, and a violent windstorm sweeps down on the lake. The boat is swamping, and the disciples are terrified. They wake Jesus up, screaming, "Master, Master, we are perishing." They didn't say it as calmly as I said it just now, probably like a yell. Jesus simply gets up and rebukes the wind and the raging waters, and the storm immediately stops, and it is dead calm. Now, the Greek word here used for rebuke is the word epitimeo, E-P-I-T-I-M-A-O, which means to strongly command or censure. It's the exact same word Jesus uses to cast out demons, as a matter of fact. He is asserting his absolute divine authority over all chaotic forces of nature. The disciples are left terrified, asking, "Who is this?" When they reach the other side in the region of the Gerasenes, they are met by a man possessed by a legion of demons. He lives in the tombs, he's naked, and completely uncontrollable. Not a guy you'd want to invite over for dinner. The demons recognize Jesus immediately and beg not to be sent to the abyss. Jesus allows them to enter into a herd of pigs, which then rush down a steep bank and then drown in the lake. The townspeople are so frightened by this display of power, they ask Jesus to leave, but the man who is healed begs to go with him. Jesus tells him no. Instead, he says, "Return home and declare how much God has done for you." And alas, this man becomes the very first missionary to the Gentile region of Decapolis simply by telling his own story of deliverance. And we finish up today in Psalms chapter 39, verses 1 through 13. And it goes like this: I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I will guard my mouth with a muzzle, so long as the wicked are in my presence. I was mute and silent, I held my peace to no avail, and my distress grew worse. My heart became hot within me. As I mused, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue. O Lord, make me know my end, and what is the measure of my days. Let me know how fleeting I am. Behold, you have made my days a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is nothing before you. Surely all mankind stands as a mere breath. Surely a man goes about as a shadow. Surely for nothing they are in turmoil. Man heaps up wealth and does not know who will gather. And now, O Lord, for what do I wait? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the scorn of a fool. I am mute. I do not open my mouth, for it is you who have done it. Remove your stroke from me. I am spent by the hostility of your hand. When you discipline a man with rebukes for sin, you consume like a moth what is dear to him. Surely all mankind is a mere breath. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hold not your peace at my ears, for I am a sojourner with you, a guest like my fathers. Look away from me, that I may smile again before I depart and am no more. Alrighty, here just a quick word from our sponsor. Covenant Security Equipment is a security company. It's a Christian-owned company who partners with building contractors who build with safety in mind. They provide things like bullet-resistant windows, secure transaction systems, and drive-through installations, and much, much more. Go to covenantsecurityequipment.com to find out more. And also, if you don't mind, pick up a copy of the Learn the Bible in a Year workbook. I did write this book for you. It's kind of like a journal. It has additional questions and fun facts about our daily readings. The digital version of the book is totally for free. And also, you can pick up the paperback version, which I wish I could make for free, but paper costs money. So, alas, it is not for free. So, the link to either one of those books is in the show notes. So, check it out there. All right. What was your main takeaway from today's reading? My main takeaway was we just did that little deep dive on the word that Jesus used when he rebukes the sea. It's the exact same word he uses when he rebukes demons. This just kind of gives me a fuller picture of the real power of God, the real power that Jesus had. And the word that's used over and over again in the New Testament to describe the way Jesus talks is he is one with authority. So I love that we learned about that word, that he has authority. His words have authority over all things. Demons must flee, and the wind and the waves must obey because his words have authority. Really awesome reminder there. All right, well, that is it for today's episode, and I will see all of you cool cats again here tomorrow.